As you know, I'm a big fan of ultra-wide lenses, and Wex in Birmingham have loaned me what I think is a very worthy number. This is the Olympus 7-14 f2.8 Pro. It's the equivalent of a 14 to 28 in full frame terms, and to be fair, overall, it doesn't disappoint. Let me tell you why. At 534 grams, this is a nice solid metal lens, really well built. You know, that is living up to the Pro badge right down there. You get an angle of view 114 to 75 degrees. As you know, f2.8 all the way through, and that'll go to f22. We've got a nice minimum focusing of 0.2 meters. We've got this manual focus clutch here, which, as you can see, will also reveal a little meter in meters and feet, which bizarrely starts before 0.2 and finishes after infinity. Anyway, that's very handy, and some of you will be very happy about being able to flick from autofocus to manual focus very quick. Me personally, not my thing. But anyway, I get it, it's cool. Around here, we've got this LFN button, so lens function button, which should work on most of your newer Olympus bodies and some of your Panasonic bodies. Alas, mine doesn't accept that, but this lens feels the part. I'm happy with that, but really it's down to how it performs. So let's get this thing back on and get out and shoot with it.
Quick video clip using the app, because the app appears to work properly. You brands know who I'm talking about. And face tracking looks like it's working a treat. I don't know if you can see that too well for what it's worth. That was a random rip around one part of Coventry, and first time I've gone right inside the Herbert Gallery. That was interesting, but it's getting a bit grim out. I gotta go to a meeting now, so I'll catch up with you on the other side.
I really enjoyed this lens, and let's be honest, each time I play with a lens on this Micro Four Thirds system, especially that EM1 Mark II, but yes, my baby GX80, I feel that it makes me fall more and more for this system. I appreciate it a lot more than before, as it should. For all its excellent build quality and functionality, it just seems to be lacking something, at least in the shooting process. Afterwards, when you get back and you look at the image, it is absolutely fantastic. It does stand up as a pro lens. I mean, I guess that's how it should be, but a little magic in the process wouldn't hurt, would it, Olympus? The lens is sharp throughout the range, and remember, you're talking about a 2.8 throughout, a very nice close focusing distance, which is extremely handy, especially when you're using an ultra wide lens where you could just easily set everything to a hyperfocal distance and just spray away. This lens does pack a punch, and it's conveniently sized too. It's not exactly bulky. You know, as you turn through the range 7-14, it's all internal. The manual focus ring feels fine, but of course that clutch is very handy. Although, yeah, I'll repeat myself, but I don't know if a clutch is for me, as I'm not a manual shooter in the sense that I'm not quickly flicking between autofocus and manual. And I did find occasionally that thing would get knocked out of place, like when I was taking it out of the bag or something, and then you find yourself shooting and thinking, why is it not in focus? It's dead easy to remedy. Nice solid click, but that might be something to consider, although I don't think that's going to put you off buying this lens at all. The autofocus is fast, quiet, works very nicely. Now, distortion is a big deal, of course, and with this lens, in corrected use, it's fine. You will notice a bit more if you're using the raw data, and landscape shooters might just need to be careful with tilting up and down to avoid barrel distortion. Now, there's nothing that you can't fix, but for the nature of the lens, it is a bit of a con, frankly. It is a little bit, well, just say marks off, if you can say that. It is something, but in general, day-to-day, you know, use, the distortion is not a big deal. If field curvature is an issue for you, get your hands on the lens, test it out properly. I think you'll know what's what then. The weather sealing seems to be up to the usual Olympus Pro standard. It's not a huge issue for me, but it's nice to know that it's there. But I appreciate for some of you that would be a big deal. And as far as testing it in extremes goes, of course, I haven't done that, so I can't promise. But I feel confident about the Olympus lenses. This Pro label, so far, so good. It does seem to be standing up. Quality control seems to be very good. Of course, I haven't tried out all the lenses or even all the 7-14s to know for sure, but you know, I think we can be pretty confident about this. All in all, this has got to be the best ultra wide option for the micro 4/3 system. So it's not perfect, but at 2.8 it's better than the f4 competitor. It's not really a competitor. Yeah, it doesn't have IS, but, well, in my case, the body that I'm using does, and potentially the body that you'll use does too. That LFN button is a nice little option if your Panasonic allows it. Your Olympus probably does allow it. Would have been cool for me to use that, but again, I'm just using a very basic, well, basic model in the micro 4/3 world these days. Have you used this lens, or have you used the Panasonic equivalent? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you down there.